We're already one day into free agency, and it's already been crazy so far. Kevin Durant just joined the Brooklyn Nets, Andre Iguodala got traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, and D'Angelo Russell's on his way to Golden State. So, with all that being said, I kind of want to look in on specifically the Iguodala trade and why the Golden State Warriors had to do what they did. We all knew from the whole year that Kevin Durant was probably going to leave. There were hints all season long, from training camp to the Draymond debacle to the All-Star break. Everything was pointing to Kevin Durant leaving and joining with Kyrie Irving. We didn't know what team it would be. Everyone thought it was going to be the Knicks, but they struck out. But it ended up being the Brooklyn Nets. So now, the future of the Warriors is really up in the air. They had to trade Andre Iguodala to get D'Angelo Russell, and I think that was the best move the Warriors could have made in this situation. Kevin Durant already said that he wanted to leave, so doing a sign and trade was the best way for the Warriors to get something in return. If you don't get anything in return, the Warriors would basically be over by next season. Because Draymond's a free agent and he could leave. Looney's probably going to leave. KD already left. Livingston might retire. And then you probably would have lost Iguodala next season anyways because he was going to also retire. So then the Warriors, as we know it, are basically done. At least with the D'Angelo Russell trade, the Warriors can have a little bit of life left and hopefully try and do something in the next few years. If they didn't do this trade, their future would have been basically over and they would have been rebuilding around the Splash Bros for a few seasons, and I don't know how that would have worked out because Steph and Klay are going to be in their 30s and both of them will be well in their 30s in a few years, and I don't know how competitive they can be in a really strong Western Conference by then. At least trading for D'Angelo Russell gives them some life and a future to build upon if things don't go the way they want it to. At least they have a 23-year-old all-star who can be the next face of the franchise for years to come. With Iguodala leaving, I think it just had to be done. He was getting really old and he was starting to expire contract-wise. He's going to retire next season, and I think a 36-year-old Andre Iguodala isn't going to be enough for the Warriors to stay competitive next season. The writing was already on the wall for this team, so I think they just said, let's just get rid of his contract because they overpaid him 2 years ago and they gave him $48 million for 3 seasons, which is a lot. And I think now they're trying to clean up some cap space, but the sign and trade kind of forced them to be in a really tough spot now because they're hard capped with Klay Thompson. So they basically can't go over $18 million and they still have to sign half of their roster. So I think getting rid of Iguodala was their best option for at least having something to build upon. And like I said before, he's getting old, and I think they just needed to say, hey, the future's happening now. This team's not like it was a couple weeks ago, and we just have to change and do something. And with Iguodala's comments on the Breakfast Club and whatever, I think he said those things because he already knew he was on the way out. He didn't say it and then the Warriors said, okay, you snaked us out, we're going to get rid of you. I think he was saying it because he knew he was on the way out. If you look at his Twitter, a lot of his tweets are pretty cryptic, and you can kind of tell he was on his way out and he knew it too. So he just said, whatever, I'm going to say what I want to say. There's nothing that's going to stop me. So then I think they didn't really backstab him or anything. He was going to be gone regardless. The only thing that would have kept him is if Kevin Durant stayed, and that didn't happen, so he for sure was going to leave. For the future of Iguodala, I think he could stay with the Grizzlies, but they might organize a buyout option, and then he could be on the Lakers, which I don't know how that's going to work out. If they get Kawhi, that's going to be a really nice team going forward, and I think they're probably easily the favorites with Kawhi. Even without Kawhi and Iguodala, just Iguodala, AD, and LeBron, they would probably still be the favorites in the West. And I think for D'Angelo Russell, I think the Warriors will keep him for a little bit. They do need a small forward. I don't think Klay Thompson... I know Klay can play the 3, but I don't think that's how he's going to be the most effective on this team. I think they're the best backcourt in the league for a reason, and they should be the backcourt. So I think what the Warriors are planning to do is just have D'Angelo Russell for this season, because Klay's probably going to be out for the whole regular season, and then try them out in the playoffs. If that doesn't work, try and trade D'Angelo Russell in the offseason next year and maybe get a small forward if you can. If not, I guess you kind of have to keep him and just see what you can get out of him for the next few years. I don't really like the 3-guard thing with the Warriors, but their defense will be lacking significantly, and I don't know how their center position is going to look. So the Warriors have a lot of questions to be asked in the next couple months. But I think if D'Angelo Russell can be effective for the Warriors and maybe slightly improve on defense, they could be contenders in the West. If Klay Thompson's still healthy when he comes back, close to his expected production, they could make a run at the Western Conference Finals. I wouldn't write them off for that. But other than that, I'm not sure where the Warriors are going to go from here. It was a great run, and Andre Iguodala was a great Warrior. He helped them significantly, won a Finals MVP. Same goes for Kevin Durant. He was a great Warrior for them too. I just don't really know where they go from here, but it was fun to watch. I mean, the Warriors are the best team I've ever seen in my lifetime, and I know a lot of people hated them and a lot of people liked them. I think when the dust settles, people will remember the Golden State Warriors for being one of the greatest teams of all time, but I'm not sure how else they'll be remembered from there on out. What do you guys think of all these trades? It's so early in the free agency market that we don't even know what's going to happen from here on out. But I think both teams benefited from this trade. I mean, Iguodala unfortunately had to go, but I think he had to go in this situation. It was the only way the Warriors could save what they still have. And if not, they would have just been rebuilding like all the other teams in the East. That's all for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Just in case the party gets rowdy, I brought my crew. I don't mind if y'all wanna fight me, just don't shoot. I see you guys